The following is taken from Nitya Sutras, or Holy Words of Nityananda. Thought, like many great masters, his highest teachings were given through silent presence and darshan. On the nature of the Absolute, he said, "This is Shiva Shakti, the creative power of the indivisible One. And God's creative power is the Atman, the Self, the One Reality." The Absolute, the ultimate reality, the highest of all, is pure consciousness. This pure dynamic consciousness is the basis and source of all manifestation, large and small. Many names have been given to this ground of all, such as Shiva, Parashakti, Parabrahman, Atman, the Self, and God. It is the divine consciousness in all, the one consciousness. This ocean of pure potentiality has two inseparable aspects: pure potential, as Shiva, and pure energy, Shakti. Shakti is the supreme creative aspect of the Absolute, vital and dynamic. It is both completely stable and never still. The eternally pulsating sound and power of Om, the creative energy of life, Omkar. Within the sea of pure consciousness, this resonance causes movement, waves and ripples that intersect and mingle, rise and break. All manifestation arises from the movement and interaction of forces precipitated by the resonance that is Omkar. Omkar is the original word, the universal sound. The word in the Gospel of St. John that states, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." In the Rig Veda, one of the most ancient of Indian holy texts, Omkar is creator and substance of all. Omkar is pulsating everywhere, always at the same time. It is formless, completely open, pure potential. Om vibrates like a storm in the sky, having neither beginning nor end. It is the stage manager of the divine drama. The human body is a string of Om. All that is, inside us, outside us, is born of Om. Omkar Shakti is the very nature of the Absolute, or God. It is the living energy whose vibration gives rise to the whole universe. Synonymous with the Om sound and Pranava, Omkar is the all-pervasive universal mantra. This one dynamic impulse reverberates within absolute simplicity, an eternally stable, self-luminous conscious force, continuously and joyously manifesting its own awareness as Sat Chit Ananda. The universe arises from sound, as do all things with form. From sound, form arises. Exactly how this vibrant, self-aware, ever-pulsating ocean of pure consciousness manifests as our familiar material world is the subject of much scholarly debate. In general, all schema trace a hierarchical development beginning with a single absolute that manifests in increasingly differentiated levels, hence the higher or more subtle worlds. Nityananda likewise sees the material world as the most differentiated and gross level, because each successive level is contained within its more subtle predecessor. However, all things share certain basic elements that are the first and most subtle differentiations from the Absolute. When the life energy moves in an outward direction, desires are born. There, the mind follows, dividing and subdividing into the 2, 4, and 6-fold properties of unconscious cosmic nature, and what we call the world comes into being. Nityananda spoke primarily of 2 sets of such elements. In the first are the 5 categories of earth, water, fire, air, and ether, or space. In the second set are the 3 primary gunas, or constituent elements of cosmic nature: Prakriti, Sattva, Raja, and Tama. The Sattva is pure light and perfect balance. Tama, at the other end of the spectrum, embodies inertia, darkness, and total density. Between the 2 lies Raja Guna, which embodies passion, fire, dynamic activity. All principles have a single root, the one absolute Para Brahman. And Omkar is the essence of them all, the power of doership of the Absolute, the essence of life, of words and objects, of human beings. Omkar is the heart of Atman, and Atman, the Self, is central to the mystery of our essential nature, because in the sutras, a distinction does not mean that the world is an illusion. After all, the power underlying everything is real power. Rather, Maya or illusion implies that nothing outside and nothing inside is as it appears. Individual selves are not really separate. Instead, they are like waves on the ocean's surface, each different but still water, only water. Likewise, any extension of the Supreme Self is not different from the Supreme Self. Jiva Atman is supreme conscious energy expressed as an individuated person. Param Atman is the Absolute, and they are both really the same. When Nityananda speaks of merging the Jiva Atman into the Param Atman, he is simply referring to the merging of ocean waves into water. Atman merging into Atman. Sound arises in the inner sky of pure consciousness, the heart space in the head, the sky of the heart. What manifests is life power, the One. Each individual reflects the structure of the universe. Whatever divine consciousness manifests in the universe, individuated consciousness manifests in the form of the human body. Nityananda used the words Omkar or Shakti when discussing the vitality of the Absolute. As the energy moves out from the source, It becomes distinct, but not separate from the source. And as the essence of the individual Jiva Atman, it is called Kundalini. The life force, Shakti or Kundalini, is the same in all creatures, mobile and immobile. The sun and moon also are the same life force. Kundalini is the all-encompassing energy of life itself. In the individual human being, this single dynamic event manifests on three levels: biological, subtle or psychic, and purely spiritual. The energy of our biological existence is prana kundalini. The energy that supports the intellectual and emotional manifestations of our being is chitta kundalini, the mind. The third aspect, para kundalini, is the condensed manifestation of pure consciousness. It is the same as Shakti and the same as Omkar. These aspects relate to different stages or states of consciousness. While they each manifest differently, their essence is the same Param Atman, the Supreme Self. Awareness of this essence is liberation.